Most of you guys have already seen the video of this anglerfish who traveled to the surface of the ocean, but for those of you who didn't, it's such a beautiful story because these type of fish usually live in the very bottom of the ocean in pure darkness, and they have even developed a little light of their own to be able to see in the bottom of the ocean. And this little angler fish, that's also called the devilfish, surfaced to the top of the ocean this past week, and it moved masses of humans all over the world. And also, she came with a message, really, a symbolic message, a metaphorical message, and as well as some prophecy associated with her. I'm calling this fish Sunshine because it's so fitting for her to have ascended all the way to the top of the ocean on her way to pass away, that she knew that she was going to pass over, and still chose to swim for many, many, many days to get to the top of the ocean. And it was such an incredible plight. But metaphorically speaking, this happening was so symbolic for humanity and for humanity's ascension out of darkness. And not only for humanity, but also for the divine feminine. This fish represented the divine feminine and the need for the rise for divine feminine to come out of the ashes of darkness in which she's been buried since the beginning of time. Time on earth, anyhow. This beautiful fish has reminded us of our strength, our ability to create our own light in the midst of darkness, and also our ability to reach for the light, even if it's the last thing that we do. How much more symbolic can you get for a goddess to literally crawl her way out of the very bottom of the ocean and rise all the way to the sun on her way out? There's nothing more goddessy about that. But this really is the story for the whole soul, because the soul is all made with masculine and feminine energies. So there's a goddess energy within every single soul, and therefore many of the masculines probably very much relate to this fish as well. She represents the suffering and the darkness that we endure in our human lives, and the ability to rise above it no matter what odds are against us. But there's also prophecy that has been written, and it states that at the end times, or the beginning of new earth, the end of the old, we will see creatures from the bottom of the ocean rise. So I think that this was felt on a soul level to most of those who are tuning in across the board as this happened, that this struck a chord, because it was said that when these creatures rise to the surface, many changes will happen on earth. And as you guys know, we're already seeing a lot of that. So this is just a confirmation, a sign from the spirit world that change is here. And this is a time where you're going to see a lot of revelations unfold, and you're going to see a lot of beautiful things happening, but you're also going to see a collapse, a continued collapse of the darkness and the things that don't serve humanity. And in the meantime, there is still a lot of sorcery that has humanity interwoven into even the unfoldment of events today. This prophecy is going to be the very first step. I feel the guides are saying that there's going to be more of these types of events, and you're going to start seeing a lot more come up from the ocean. And I hear them saying that it won't just be creatures, it will also be hidden knowledge and hidden history that's both in the ocean and underground. And we've covered this in lots of other videos before as well. So not only are temples rising out of the ground, which we've talked about in many other videos, not only are we seeing all this old ancient knowledge coming to the surface, but we're also seeing an infinite forms of creations that are rising to the surface now, many of which we didn't even know existed, and some that we knew existed. But in this case, this anomaly with Sunshine is that she swam for weeks, I believe it was weeks, to get to the surface of the ocean so that she could touch sunlight before she passed over, which is an incredible feat. If you haven't been looking into the videos about her, I would totally encourage you to do that, because it was touching. I spent several days crying this week over her, and I want to just thank her soul for for coming and touching everybody on earth, because so many of us can feel what she had to go through to get there. I hope that you guys enjoy. I'll see you next time.